Superhot is a 2016 game by Superhot team, which has all the hallmarks of the team that made Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Team. Developer name aside, the game is one of the most innovative shooters ever made. The basic premise is this: time only moves when you do, although technically this is a bit of a lie, as time does move when you're not moving, but it's very, very slow. Basically, as you move, time speeds up, and so you need to approach the shooter like you'd approach a puzzle game. You enter each combat arena and you're faced with a puzzle. There are enemies that need to die, and you need to make sure that you yourself don't die. Rather simple. And you accomplish this by inching your way through the world, moving a few centimeters with every movement, making your way towards weapons, dodging attacks, and eliminating your foes. Now, one of the major things, before discussing some of the specifics in the following paragraphs, dodging is immensely important. You can move out of the way of bullets and enemy swings because everything is very strongly projected. Bullets leave streaks in their wake that help you move this way and that to avoid them as best you can. So, keep that dodging aspect in mind while we discuss the shooting. You can make use of a variety of guns in the game, and every bullet is a one-hit kill for you too, so avoid them bullets. And because of this, the guns present you with an interesting dilemma. You see, you can move through time incredibly slowly because you're the player character, but the same cannot be said of your enemies. They respond as if everything were moving in real time, and this necessitates some forward thinking. In most shooters, when you shoot, you typically aim at the enemy and then they fall down and die. This happens because bullets, in case you were unaware, move really, really quickly. So, where you aim, you hit. This cannot be said of Superhot though. The bullets move just as slowly for you as they do for your enemies. And so while they may not be able to dodge like you can, you do need to pay attention to where the bullets are going. If you shoot at an enemy's head, it likely won't hit their head unless they're standing still. You've aimed as if bullets were moving in real time. And in Superhot, you need to aim ahead of them. You can't aim where they are, you need to aim where they're going to be. Rather simple. And this principle has been used in games for ages when using slow weapons such as bow and arrows, but not with guns, because guns don't typically slow time down. And then, what do you do with the gun when it's run out of bullets? Well, you throw it, of course, and that leads to the throwing. Have you ever wanted to feel like a super badass? Some games kind of make you feel like a badass. You know, games like Doom 2016, you're a big, bad, murderous monster man and you rip demons' hearts out of their chests. And sure, that is pretty badass. But what about grabbing a cup off a table, throwing it at someone, they drop their gun because a ceramic cup exploded on their face, and you catch the gun midair and gun them down and their buddies? Isn't that even more badass than the whole ripping their heart out thing? It feels more like something John Wick would do. And that's another crucial element of Superhot. There are various items just lying around the world that you can pick up and throw at people. Some of these things kill enemies when thrown, like a katana, but other things just daze your enemies, and that gives you the momentary break you need to gain the upper hand in battle. The simple fact that anything could be a weapon to you adds to that feeling of badassitude, but shooting people and throwing things around doesn't account for the swinging. You can swing katanas, baseball bats, golf clubs, and a couple other things. Each of these kill enemies instantly because everyone dies instantly, yourself included, so you'd better watch out. And sure, each of these weapons can also be thrown at any of the enemies in your way, and that will generally kill them too, so you can John Wick your way through the world. Some of these weapons present you with a slightly different way of interacting. Something like a baseball bat just breaks your enemies, but the katana, oh, that is an entirely different thing. That slices and dices your enemies. It really is a wonderfully visceral thing to do, not to mention the fact that the katana can also slice bullets in half. Swing this way and that, take out one enemy after another, throw the weapon away, punch a guy in the face, grab his sword, and slash your way through the rest of them. The slow motion renders this a slightly easier way of fighting than using a gun, because there's no real need to aim when slashing. But the weapons do eventually break, and then you can't even throw them anymore. So, make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. And that is Superhot, one of the most innovative shooters ever made. It also happens to have a pretty interesting narrative behind it, which is something you can't really say about many of the other games I've decided to analyze in this short series. Also, whenever you finish a level, you get to re-watch your gameplay with the speed back up to real time. And so you look like a massive badass, dodging every attack and taking down every enemy. It's just awesome to watch that playback. And that's it for Superhot.